All right, everybody. Good Monday afternoon. Meteorologist Alex Carter with you here in the Fox 54 Digital Weather Center. We are tracking what is a pretty active pattern on Doppler radar this afternoon, and you're seeing that here. Of course, we do have plenty of thunderstorms. We were talking about this actually even last week, that we were thinking Monday could be the most active day of all of them with this outer edge of the heat dome, and it's living up to the billing. And some of these storms, like we've talked about, they can get stronger. So if you're just tuning in, again, good afternoon. And we're about to dive into a few of these storms as we track them moving from north to south today, a little bit of a more odd direction we tend to see this time of year. Let's go ahead and dive into Doppler radar. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the lightning so much with some of these storms. And a lot of these clusters here, we'll get to the severe thunderstorm warning, but you see near Augusta, just south of Aiken, closing in on New Ellington, Hepzibah, Keysville, over towards, say, Vidette, and just to the south and east of Rennes, even this cell here right over Millen. All these storms have a chance to become severe because the atmosphere is perfectly primed to see some stronger wind gusts today, and we got a lot more of these storms rolling in from the north as well. But here's the latest look at this severe thunderstorm. This is near Aonia, just to the south of Aonia, I believe, and there it is. You see that there, right near the Raysville Marina. You're probably seeing this from a distance if you're watching out there in the Raysville area. This is near Highway 80, going into parts of Warren County, parts of McDuffie County as well under the severe thunderstorm warning. This is generally moving towards Thompson. And if we put this back towards the last 15 minutes, you'll be able to see that here. Notice the movement on that. And it's moving to the south at a decent rate. I think this storm is going to start to generate in two different areas here. But still moving to the south and west at just about 25 miles an hour. So I'm going to go and draw that storm track out on the outer edge. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here so we can get a better track on that. So if you're in Warrenton, this is going to be right at your doorstep at about 5:20. So we're getting pretty close to you guys. This storm could produce some hail up to about 3/4 of an inch. So pretty hefty, along with some strong gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour. These storms today have that potency to them, and that's what we're going to be tracking for the rest of this afternoon and this evening. So if you're just watching, again, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Weather Aware Live. We are tracking some of those heavy thunderstorms on the outer edge of this heat dome. And boy, are we feeling the heat dome today. I can tell you that. But I'm trying to look at some of your questions as we go through the next few days here, few hours, because we are going to see probably the last of the storms this afternoon, and then I think we start to dry out the rest of the week. But again, it is good to be back here in the Weather Center tracking these, and if you have any questions, let us know. I'm able to see those in our comments section here. Jenny in Boneville, thank you for watching, Jenny. And Nora, good afternoon. This is all moving over Augusta right now, and I think the chance for stronger storms is probably going to start to fizzle out past 9 p.m. We got about 4 hours left on this, and then we lose daytime heating, and it starts to get a lot better. But some stronger wind gusts are definitely possible. With this particular storm here, this is the strongest one that we're seeing right now. Looking at some of those. Linda, thank you for that comment. Linda says, holy macaroni. 1 minute it was sunny and bam, pouring rain, wind, all the like, right? So definitely one of those days where we have plenty of storms to talk about. I'm going to clear the deck on this one, and I'm going to reset the board a little bit. We're seeing some heavy rain right over Augusta, Hepzibah. It's pretty much all just to the south of Highway 1, and you'll see how these have generated over just the past 30 to 45 minutes. Look at that, like clockwork. Finally, the lid came off of the atmosphere, and right near Rennes, Bath, Blythe, Keysville, Hepzibah, Gracewood, on down the road to Atomic Road, Beach Island, Augusta-Aiken Highway area, Sandbar Ferry Road. That's where we're seeing a lot of this action right now. And I think a lot of these storms could become stronger. They are towering up. There's so much heating that they are just exploding, and they are just going off just like that. So some very strong storms, and we're seeing those right over Millen as well. If you're in Millen and you're near, say, State Road 17, this is an area where we'll be watching for some of that development. Right now, from Midville to Millen, everything's quiet, but you're looking off to your east. If you're in Midville and you're saying that's a big thunderstorm, you're able to see that one from miles away. These are all popping up, kind of like popcorn in a microwave, and they're just going to move from north to south. That's why we put that slightly better chance for rain for your Monday here. And look at all this back to the north as well. Could shape up to be a pretty active afternoon. So that's why we're coming to you on Facebook Live. Wanted to keep you aware of kind of what's going on the rest of the day, because these thunderstorms here, and I'm going to move it off of sweeping and show you what's happening up in the upstate. Several strong thunderstorms happening right now in places like Oglethorpe County, Elbert County, up near Russell Lake, up near Lake Greenwood, and this is all pushing into our area tonight. So we'll show you how this kind of plays out the rest of the evening here and give you that quick update. Notice, and I'm going to replay that because this is most of the action, from now till about, say, 9 o'clock. Watch these strong storm clusters, right? A lot of those storms could produce some stronger wind gusts, maybe even some hail up to, say, penny size, if not maybe slightly up to quarter size. So that's what we'll be watching here over the next few hours. We get into about, say, 9, 10 o'clock, and I think most of the activity is done. And overnight, we're going to have, actually, believe it or not, some drier air sweeping into the area tomorrow. Not half bad for a Tuesday. It's going to be hot, but it's going to be more of a dry heat moving in. Not going to be quite as substantial as what we've seen today and this weekend. It's been brutal this weekend, I can tell you that much. Man, a very sweltering heat. And we're going to get that once again later this week and then into the weekend as well. But we're going to get some dry air in the middle of this week that should start to help things out just a hair. But wanted to get on here and talk more about those strong storms that are happening right now. Checking in on questions here. Steve Barber wondering about the CSRA. That is Central Savannah River area. So that's anywhere from Augusta up to McCormick to Aiken to Warrenton, Thompson, all the way down to Swainsboro. So if you're in that area, let us know. And, yep, Crystal, I think we could see some stronger storms in Appling this afternoon and evening. Again, wind gusts up to 40 to 60 miles an hour are the main concern. If you're in Appling, you're not in this severe thunderstorm warning, but look at that. And we were just talking about how these storms are getting stronger. They just put out a special weather statement for these cells in Hepzibah, Waynesboro, you're included in this now, Keysville, and Vidette. So the northwestern half of Burke County. In Midville, just a heads up, I think this is going to be on down the line to you guys as well. And we'll go and show you that full screen here. Millen's getting the worst of the winds and the rain right now with some of those wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour with frequent thunder and lightning there. Thompson, you're still not in the thick of this thunderstorm, but that outflow boundary is what you're getting right now, and I think you could see some stronger wind gusts with that as well. I'm going to turn on the hail track here. I want to see if there's been any hail that radar is indicating in this storm. And there was earlier near Aonia, just south of Aonia, some hail up to about, say, half an inch in diameter. So not half bad there. Definitely an impressive storm that's rolling through. And hopefully it starts to quiet down before too long. We're seeing that right on State Road 80. And this is going to be pushing across I-20 here very shortly if you're driving anywhere from, say, Warren County and McDuffie County. Christina, yep, you say we got thunder and we got a breeze, and you'll hear it out in the distance. You're getting all these outflow boundaries from these other storms right now, and that's what's creating that nice breeze. I don't know if I'd call it nice, though. I will be honest. It does kind of feel like a blowtorch out there, so it's not feeling the best, but we are definitely seeing some of those stronger storms out there this afternoon. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts will be the main concern. And you see more of these developing up from the north. So we're going to track those as they're moving in. But definitely a day of some potentially stronger weather here in the CSRA. And if you're just joining us, good afternoon. Another edition of Weather Aware Live here, tracking some pretty potent thunderstorms. So if you're just joining us, again, we got all eyes on these. I got this on full screen right now. If you're in Norwood, if you're in Kamek, these are the areas that we're watching for the noisiest of the weather. Christina, yep, you betcha. It's a very hot breeze. It's not one of the refreshing kind. But these storms are moving from north to south all through this afternoon and all through this evening. So wanted to give you all a quick live update on what's going on because we are expecting more of those thunderstorms to roll in through the rest of the afternoon and through, I'd say, about 9 o'clock this evening. So just be on the lookout for these. If you see that you're included in that severe thunderstorm warning, make sure to go inside. These are some very potent storms. I want you to be weather aware for those as we go into the next, I'd say, 3 to 4 hours here. But that's the latest update. Again, we have that severe thunderstorm warning for McDuffie and Warren County. If you're in Warrenton, this is going to be right near you at about 5:20 this afternoon. So wanted to give y'all just a heads up on what's happening, and some noisy thunderstorms will continue. You'll see us here on Fox 54 News at 6:30, tracking those on our newscast. You can also catch us on our Fox 54 weather app, and of course more updates coming here on Facebook as well. That's the latest. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of your Monday, and enjoy watching some of that World Cup while we're on, and we will see you soon coming up at 6:30.